All right, guys, welcome back. It's Thursday. And I am Howard Riell here at Real Truth. It's great to have you with me. Let's hit it right off the bat. I'm not even going to give the bad guys a chance to catch their breath. Tom Fitton is the president of Judicial Watch, a conservative watchdog group. Here he is just earlier today, WMAL, talking about Donald Trump's upcoming pick for the Supreme Court. Go. Well, that's a good place to stop and talk, my friends. Hang on a second. The fact that the Democrats, liberals, are going apoplectic over the Supreme Court pick shows you that they are losing. How does it show you? That's simple. Americans are on to the fact that Democrats have no positive ideas, nothing that will work, nothing to add to the American conversation. The Democrats realize that, and so instead of trying to change policy or convince voters that their policies are good, which they aren't, they're using activist judges to skirt around, to get around the voter and implement their decisions, their policies by fiat. That's why they have a death grip on the Supreme Court. Guys, not going to work.
Real back from that. That's not the
Exactly right. My friends, here's what's guaranteed. The Supreme Court justice that Donald Trump will name will serve this country well and faithfully. He will, or she, will adhere to the Constitution, and that makes all the difference. This country was not founded with an eye towards activist judges. They have no place making law from the bench. And any law they make, whether it's based on European law, whatever, is deleterious to this country. We need originalists, and thanks to President Trump, that's just what we're going to get. Let's take a break and we'll come back. Stick around, more Real Truth.
And of his fullness we have all received, as grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. You lose the blocker method. The problem is well done. We know our kids will be approved. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have they know the truth. They provide examples of European families to be the best they can be. That's promoted with the blocker plan located at 366 Street of Open, serving our area in 1943, specializing in naturalized PhD and work and complete custom process. Offering 680-2040, total concrete services along our market. The men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and keep our country safe, strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in this kind of disease. Salute those who serve today. This reminder of Total Concrete Services at 44th in the Hilltop Court, Oklahoma. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
And speaking of the Supreme Court, as we were, the Supreme Court made a ruling several days ago showing that people on the left are morons who either don't know what the Constitution says or couldn't give a rat's ass less. The Supreme Court upheld Donald Trump's travel ban, which was really Barack Obama's travel ban. But nobody made a stink about it when Obama was president because, I don't know if you've ever noticed, he's black. And so you can't say anything to criticize Barack Obama. But anyway, the Supreme Court supported Donald Trump. That's a great thing for you and me and our country and our children. Here's Dr. Sebastian Gorka weighing in.
Let's go right to our first guest of the hour. Really excited to hear from him. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, former deputy
Well, I'll tell you how I would respond to that criticism, and then I'll let Sebastian Gorka respond. Donald Trump is not destroying relationships. Donald Trump is creating good relationships where lousy relationships have existed for decades. Trump is a disruptor, and God in heaven, did we ever need a disruptor? People think that by placing tariffs on Chinese goods, he's creating a trade war. Well, the people who think that aren't very bright or don't bother reading. The trade war has been going on for decades, and we have lost it every single year to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. We're getting our asses kicked every year by China, and Trump says that's got to stop. Well, when you make any omelet, you're going to break eggs, and he's breaking eggs. And people who want America to continue to lose are afraid. Don't do anything. Don't change anything. Yeah, but we're getting our butts kicked. Don't change anything. We're losing every year. Don't change anything. Obviously, those people are fools. We very, very, very much need to change a lot in the way we trade with other nations, China being the biggest culprit, and Trump is doing that effectively. Maybe it's not for the weak of heart, but maybe it's for the weak of heart. They get a little stronger. All right, my friends, who are the Never Trumpers? They are people who hate America. And that's why they hate Donald Trump. Let's take a break and we'll be back with more Real Truth. We're halfway done. Stick around.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth. How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices of the same herbal supplement? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Herb herbal supplements are all manufactured in Ridge, Colorado, at 4565 Kiffin Street, using the highest quality herb that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back for time limit. Just return the bottle, empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Business Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit. They are God, because many false prophets have gone into the void. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God. Every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming, and is now already in the world. From John 4:1.
We hope these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the government. This is the American News Network.
Chaplain Collins LLC speaks our emergency first responders with a professional and free. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins. Serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com.
If catastrophe struck with your family, be prepared. Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Barrett Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Barrett Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Barrett Survival.
Okay, Alan Dershowitz, famous Harvard law professor, was on the Laura Ingraham show earlier today talking about the potential Supreme Court picks that Donald Trump is looking at right now. Here's what Dershowitz had to say.
Joining us now, Alan Dershowitz, also on this testimony that is just underway now on Capitol Hill. Now, those inside sitting next to today, it's looking like they set a platform to very station, it prevents me from thinking to myself, what the heck have they been doing the last year and a half?
We have a right to get the truth through the media, and we are denied that right 24 hours a day, every day, by the lying fake news media. Rather than grinning and bearing it, let's do something about it. We'll be back.
The United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty of ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. He was in the world was made through him. The world did not know. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsored fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Frighttown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This is an opportunity for a would-be effective. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Frighttown. For residential or commercial
713-263-4228.
My friends, I know quite a bit about the future of the Democrat Party. The future of the party will belong to the extreme crazy wackos, and it will be a future of defeat and ignominy because Americans know that they've got crap to sell, and Americans don't want to buy crap. Here with his comments about the future of the Democrat Party is my colleague Ben Shapiro.
When we talk about the radical moves left by the Democratic Party, it is not yesterday's yesterday, when Joseph Crowley was ousted, she is
Well, if you like socialism, you'll love Venezuela. I was just reading a news item today. Venezuela's current inflation stands at around 37,000%. That's what socialism brings you, which gives you an idea of how stupid a human being would have to be to want socialism.
for the fact that she is a radical example.
Wrong, dear. I don't want ICE collecting more information on immigrants. I want ICE collecting more immigrants and shipping them out. Because the more immigrants who are here, the more dangerous this country is. The less we adhere to our laws, the more danger every American is in. Now, this woman is Hispanic, and the reason she was able to beat this guy Crowley, I've heard on TV, is because the demographics in her district have shifted, and minorities are the majority. Which means the people there were voting, at least partially, maybe completely, along racial lines. And so tell me, do we really want tribal voting here in the United States of America? Do we want people voting for people of their own race? Is that the determinant? Crowley, true, he's a Democrat, which means he's a chowderhead, but at least he's been in office for decades. He's got seniority, he's got experience. They picked this chick because she was the right race, and as an American, I find that disgusting.
And it also conveys a profound misunderstanding of how we should be approaching this problem.
No, dear, you have the profound misunderstanding because you think enforcing the law is the problem when it's really the solution to our problems. My friends, how stupid does someone have to be to say free college? There is no free college. Whatever happens, someone is going to have to pay for it. I'll give you 3 guesses who that's going to be, and the first 2 guesses don't count. Kids will go to college, and you will pay for it. I'll say it again in case you didn't hear me. Kids will go to college for free, but you will pay their way. You will. Now, if your problem is you got too damn much money, well, then you're sitting pretty with a Democrat politician. But if you think it's stupid to give kids a free ride and let other people pay the way, strangers pay the way, let all Americans pay, well, then you belong in Venezuela. I recommend you get there preferably before 5 p.m. today. We'll take a break. We'll wrap it up.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in the person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the person or thing to be seized.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever. The plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Chaplain Collins LLC speaks our emergency first responders with a professional commitment to free. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins. Serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total Concrete Services online. The men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Tonga. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. More information for 970-535-4780.
All right, guys, remember, as we're about to wrap this show up, remember that you're going to go to howardriell.com. That's R-I-E-L-L. You're going to go to Real Truth Radio on Facebook. Check me out. Write to me on Twitter. A whole universe of Howard Riell to explore. And by the way, you know the name of my book, Real Truth, Stay Angry. You'll find it on Amazon. You'll find it in Barnes & Noble. You'll find it on virtualbookworm.com. You'll find it everywhere if you like the show, you love the book. Item. From theweek.com, 5 million Venezuelan bolivars is the equivalent of $1.45. It's also roughly a minimum wage worker's entire monthly salary in the South American country. Thanks to stunning inflation, it now takes 1 million bolivars to buy a cup of coffee in a Venezuelan cafe, Bloomberg reports. That's 1/5 of Venezuela's monthly minimum wage. And a 10,000 bill stack of Venezuela's most common banknote, the 100 Bolivar bill. To illustrate Venezuela's rampant inflation, Bloomberg has tracked the price of a cup of coffee since December 2016 on its Cafe con Leche index. One dose of caffeine cost 450 bolivars when the index launched 2 years ago, but 43,378% inflation in the last year has led to today's astronomical price. Unquote. My friends, I misreported the number before. It's not 37,000. It's 43,378% inflation in the last year in socialist Venezuela. And so, if you haven't been convinced until now what an utter moron this chick in Queens is who wants to be a socialist, and what an utter moron Bernie Sanders is, think about how much you would enjoy living in Venezuela. Item from thehill.com. Prominent Democratic pollster Mark Penn said on Thursday, a vast majority of Americans don't really support so-called sanctuary cities that shield immigrants in the country illegally from deportation. Penn, who served as chief strategist for Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign, revealed that 84% of Americans favor turning undocumented immigrants over to federal agents. Unquote. And that, my friends, explains why all this talk about a blue wave is a crock. There will not be a blue wave. There will be a red wave. And we can push the Democrat Party closer than ever to extinction. Item from Newsweek. Toronto Mayor John Tory has warned Canada's biggest city can no longer cope with the number of asylum seekers and refugees entering the country amid President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. We've exhausted our available sites, our resources, and our personnel, Tory said in a press conference on Tuesday. Unquote. Well, schmuck, if you had called me or at least listened to my show, Mr. Mayor, you would have known that taking in asylum seekers from the third world is like swallowing seawater. Schmuck. Item from CBS Local Dateline New York. Police say a man who was sucker punched and left unconscious in the street was then robbed by another group of people in the Bronx. The entire incident was caught on surveillance video. Happened at the intersection of Aqueduct Avenue and Buchanan Place in University Heights on June 18th. My friends, you want proof of the dwindling and destruction of our culture? Well, here it is. Sucker punched for no reason whatsoever in the middle of the street, falls unconscious in the middle of an intersection. He's robbed and then robbed again. When I read items like this, I don't know what the hell I'm trying to accomplish on this show. It seems that Americans are in a race to the bottom of the toilet. I'll be back on Monday. By the way, that's going to be my birthday, July 1st. I will see you then. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry. Hasta lumbago.